Welcome back to MMA Unhinged, and joining us today is Wilson Hayes. Wilson, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Just done training. So here, I'm happy to be on the show with you guys.
Well, the pleasure is all ours. So I just want to ask, how are you feeling as we're just over 2 weeks out?
Yeah, I feel great, man. I feel great. I pretty much just going camp to camp. I was supposed to fight December 15. I had a little bit of problem with my weight. I was almost like 2 pounds over, and my opponent didn't accept the fight. So I just kind of pretty much just carry over to this camp, just pretty much stay in shape. And now I'm going to 145. I feel it'll be, even though I'm kind of sure for the division, but I feel like very strong. And I just, have a hard time cutting weight these days. I'm like 39. I think they finally catch up to me, all these brutal weight cuts.
Well, speaking about your age, I will. Before I go any further, I just want to say happy belated birthday, 39 years young.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And second, so you kind of talked about the last weigh-in that you had, and obviously things didn't go the way you wanted it to. So,
Yeah.
did that kind of put a factor in your decision to go up to 145? And or was it so much the promotion kind of met you in the middle?
No, no, it's actually me, man. Like I did have a hard time, making the weight, I been making weight, like for forever, like last time I missed
Hmm.
weight was about like 11 years ago, and it was just like the body shut down. Like I stopped losing weight when I hit 138, pounds, and I was supposed to be 136. So just because when I experienced cut of weight, I did not feel I did not, it was scary, when you're in the sauna, anything can happen. You could get sick, so I feel like
Hmm.
there's no point for me doing that these days, So I went up to 145. I feel very healthy, very strong going to 145, My opponent, he's not very lanky, not very tall either, so it's gonna be an exciting fight.
Yeah, and I want to jump right into that. But something recently that I've seen, you were training over in Scotland. So, talk about that experience and what kind of prompted your decision to travel all the way over to Scotland.
No, it's actually it was kind of like a vacation trip, When there was I just want to hang out, and girlfriend's family and stuff, Just have a lot of friends over there, so it was fun. Man. It was fun to go out there, and then having fun at the same time. I'm always trying to find a place to train. I have a couple of friends out there, and I was able to find a place to train. I train at the high level MMA, a very good team in Scotland, and I train Impulse BJJ at my friend's gym in England, and another gym in Scotland. So every place I was, every time I was training, so it was fun.
And you've been all over the world. I mean, you've been in multiple places. Do you have like a favorite place that you've traveled to?
Nah, like no, I do. I feel like like tropical places will be definitely Brazil. It's always nice to go back home. See my family.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful country. Brazil. But then outside of Brazil, I feel like these days going to England. London and Scotland is one of my favorite places to go. I've been there a couple of times and it's very nice.
And speaking about the weight cut and you fighting at 145, if you don't mind me asking, where do you normally sit at when you're not in camp?
Right now, I'm about like 163, 64, so that's usually where I usually am, this 4 hour. But then 35 was always hard because, like, even though I pretty much have to be on the diet the whole time, so now 45 would be more natural, I just have to, just tighten up the diet, in the comes 5 week, I'm only like 9, 8 pounds to lose on the water weight, so be more natural.
And when you were fighting at lower weight, how much of a weight cut, or excuse me, how long was the weight cut for you? How long, like, how
I was
far from your camp would you start it?
Yes, when I was in UFC, I 125. I had to be very, disciplined. Like let's say, like 2 months, 2 months out of from the fight. That's when I have to be, on a very like, discipline, diet, and then so I can hit the 5 week goal, not more than 10 pounds, 12 pounds overweight, 5 week, and like after, especially cutting gun away to 125 for like almost like 8 years, When I go 35, I thought it was gonna be easy, but it was actually harder at 35 because I felt I could eat a little bit more, but I ended up adding more mass, more mass, more weight, and then ended up being a little bit harder. But it does. Yeah, I feel like right now, 45 makes more sense for me.
And now that you're going to be fighting at 145, do you see improvement in your training during the camp, or do you find it's a little bit harder to carry that weight that you wouldn't normally carry?
No, man, no, because it's actually better because I don't have to worry about, like especially right this 4 hour about like almost like less than 3 weeks away. So then I have to be on a very like tight diet, get a little bit like like low energy. And right now I feel like very high energy, and then still keep eating the same amount of food I usually eat, normally. So I feel very very energized.
And let's talk a little bit about your opponent, Toby Misech. He's a veteran like yourself. When did you get the news that you were going to fight this guy? And when you did, can you kind of talk about your opponent and how do you kind of see this fight breaking down?
Yeah, I know a little bit of him. I don't know much because he was fighting. I know like he was fighting Bellator, but all I know, man, like I used to watch him. I know I first time I watched him, it was like his like like this Bellator guy, Power Punch. He fought a lot of like big names in 145 division in Bellator. So I was able to watch him, and he's a craft guy, man. He's a craft guy. He's, kind of like a Hawaiian style type of fighter, like a brawler, likes to fight, like to brawl. Good boxing IQ, so I have to watch out. Very good left hand, right hand. So, like we are not taking this light. He's a very like like tough opponent. So, but I just feel good. I feel like really strong, and I feel very healthy, and ready for this fight.
Yeah, in a perfect world, how would you like to finish your opponent?
Um, I would like to take him in what I feel best. Like take him to the ground. Like round the pound. Like set up for the submission. That's why I feel like I'm most danger.
And you've always been viewed as a very respectful fighter. You always show lots of respect. But
Yeah.
looking at your opponent, what kind of holes do you see in his game that you are going to attack?
Um, as far as like he's striking, man, like like he's a very confident striker. You can tell the way that he fights. He's very confident, and
Hmm.
that fighting, man, at this level, you have to have strategy. You have to have a game plan. You cannot just go there and get emotional. Because that's the fight he would like. He would like to get emotional and then make it like a brawl. Because that's how he likes to fight. So for me, is try to take him out of his comfort zone, for me, so that at the end
Hmm.
of the day, I've been fighting this for a long time. So for me, the most fun now is just, like try to beat my opponent and just outsmart him, so beat him, take him out of his game, so make him fight my fight. That'll be the challenge.
You this is going to be another fight that you're going to have under Cage Warriors. You've kind of been everywhere, but this has kind of been your home now for the last little bit.
Yeah,
What do you like so much about Cage Warriors that's kept you in the promotion?
man, like casual orders, like it was a special promotion because it was my last fight before I signed UFC. It was the last promotion I fought for before I signed UFC, And after the
Hmm.
UFC, it was a little bit hard for me to get fights, all the other promotions, and for whatever reason. And so then, but then I was very happy when when I find out they were coming to California, my hometown, San Diego. So I was very happy they come here. I got to fight home, and not only fight home, but fight home for a very prestige and a good promotion, like Casual is, So like I really want to fight for the belt at 135, and now it's not going to happen because I'm not fighting 35 anymore. But I do
Right.
want. I have a few fights left, and I do want to make the most of. Like I want to really like probably finish my career in cage waters, and just have fun doing. Close with my friends and family.
And is this kind of what we are going to expect in 2024? Are you looking 2024 might be your last year, or are you looking at 2025 as well? Or
Yeah, man, I'm looking 2025 as well. We just, like right now it's like a 39, like you gotta be smart, with your body, and everything. So I wanna like make sure I make smart moves from here on, especially 39, hitting 40. So, like the most important I came this for, 40 plus fights, feeling healthy, no injuries, nothing, So, I'm pretty grateful for the career I had already. So we'll see how the year plays out.
excellent. Wilson, Cage Warriors has they made a post yesterday, I believe, and they talked about where they should debut next or where they should travel to next.
Yeah,
And obviously I put in my bid, I put in Canada, but speaking to you here, I mean they haven't gone to Brazil yet. So how nice would that be for them to visit somewhere like Sao Paulo?
man, I think they would be amazing, man. Like everybody knows, man. If you go to Brazil, if you break into Brazil, it's just so much talent. Like every city you go, every little neighborhood you go, you'll be like a talent there. I think
Hmm.
that the UFC proved that by doing the reality show, by the Ultimate Fire Brazil. Fortunately, they stopped in doing that, but every time they, like like all the fighters, United States and Brazil have the most fighters, the most talent. So I feel like they're going to Brazil, man. They it will not disappoint. Like I'm actually gonna drop a comment, so I hope that will happen one day. It just the more opportunity, the better. Like Cage Orders did coming to California, it helped the circuit here in Southern California so much. Especially if they go to other places, it's going to be the same thing. The more the more opportunities, the better. The more places to showcase the fighters, the better.
Yeah, and it must still be nice that the fact that, San Diego is like your second home. It's still nice to still be able to fight somewhere like that for most of your
Yeah,
time at Cage
yeah,
Warriors.
yes, for sure, man. It's nothing like fighting at home with your friends, family, sleep on your own bed, not have to worry about,
Yeah.
like you have a normal fight week, you don't have to travel or anything. It's all cool to travel and then, see all the place, but nothing takes, the comfort of home, it's like you can take for granted.
100%. And you already kind of talked a little bit about your plans, about having a few more fights, but looking at 2020, the rest of 2024, despite the outcome of this fight, do you have any other plans for life in 2024?
Oh man, actually the plans that I have, I'm trying to be busier, with jiu-jitsu, try to compete more jiu-jitsu this year, some gi tournaments, some no gis, and kind of there's just be more like a model for my students, so they can go out and compete as well, motivate my friends and friends and students, so that's my goal, man, just enjoy the year, and then either be fighting, compete, or help my teammates.
And we've seen high-level fighters like yourself doing competitions in jiu-jitsu and a lot of things like that. But I don't know if you watched. They had a kind of like a karate tournament with Anthony Pettis and I can't remember the other guy. That my apologies, but they had two
Uh,
guys fighting in that
and-
karate tournament. Did you
and-
did you get a chance to watch that?
yeah, I didn't watch it. It was Anthony Perez versus Benson Henderson.
Correct.
A good fight, man. I was like, I saw the highlights, but like I came from jiu-jitsu, a lot of Brazilian guys came from jiu-jitsu, a lot of Brazilian also guys came from karate, from other martial arts. So I can here in America, taekwondo, karate is more popular. So it's cool that they're able to do that. They're very smart by doing that. There's a lot of like good striking, especially with MMA gloves to be exciting.
Absolutely. Well, Wilson, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I apologize about the delay of everything, but I do appreciate you taking your time again. And I just good luck on February 23rd, and we'll talk again soon.
Sounds good, man. Let's talk again soon. Appreciate the time. Thank you. And I talk to you soon.
Excellent. Thank you, Wilson.
Take care. Bye bye.